All right, we are on. Welcome to another episode of Han Solo, the podcast George Hahn, do by myself, solo. So clever, so clever. Today, I feel like talking about how much I really enjoyed the Fantastic Four, the new Marvel superhero joint. It's the full title is The Fantastic Four: First Steps. So I want to talk about how much I enjoyed it and why. It's not necessarily about the story and whatnot itself, although that stuff was pretty enjoyable. But no, my visual sensory enjoyment had to do with the style of the movie. But I will get into that in a minute. But first, I want to talk about yesterday how I gave myself such a nice midday pick-me-up with what? With a really nice shave. Like a really nice shave. Guys, I honestly think I just talked about this on a YouTube video. I think this was the nicest shave I've ever given myself because I went to the Pro Rosso website. Pro Rosso is the company, it's an Italian company that makes, I believe, the best shaving creams on the planet. And I looked on the site and saw this. There was like a tutorial, like a step-by-step of what they suggest we do to give ourselves, we men, the perfect shave. And I followed it. And if anybody who's been watching me on YouTube or my videos knows, I've done some shaving live. I used to do it on Twitter back when Twitter was Twitter, during the pandemic particularly. And then I moved that stuff over to YouTube, and I sometimes would do it on YouTube for Patreon subscribers. But I've given myself some really good shaves. I use a safety razor, which is that sort of old-timey grandpa razor, stainless steel, single blade. I love it. One of the many reasons I love it is because A, it looks super cool in the bathroom. Like, it's just a really cool men's bathroom accessory that looks really chic, right? I also love the shaving in the metal tube that you wind down, to get to the end of it. Like toothpaste you come into, you get that key and you just attach it to the end of the tube and you just kind of twist it down over the course of the weeks or months of your using the product. Anyway, I do that. I've got a brush and a cup, and I shave and I whip the cream into a lather. And anyway, I go through all this rigmarole because I like to give myself the treat. It's a ritual. It's a men's ritual I really enjoy. I gave myself the gift of taking my time yesterday, brought my Bluetooth Sonos speaker into the bathroom. I was listening to some NPR One, catching up on the day. It was like middle of the afternoon. And washed my face. Really, I will wash my face before I shave with water as hot as I can stand it, just to clean the skin and moisten it and soften the beard, if you will. And I use Dr. Bronner's Castile soap with essential oils in it and stuff, so it doesn't feel all dried out. And then the shaving companies and often barbers will use like a pre-shave. They call it like skin food or some such, and that's really nice. I don't have any of that. I just wash my face, as I said, with water as hot as I can stand it without scalding myself. And then whip the shaving cream, into a lather in a warmed cup. I will warm the cup with warm water, hot water really. Dump that out, and the cup is warm. I'm going into this like way too much detail here. This is stupid, but let me just say this. I go through all of this, like my shave, I like to just take my time. It's like my coffee ritual. So much in my life is digital and immediate and right fucking now. The shaving and coffee are two at-home rituals or private rituals I like to take my time with and do it right? Like I've been tempted, but I've yet to buy an espresso machine. It's the one thing where I like to just sort of take my time with my coffee in the morning. And I do that with my shave as well, because it's very old school. It's not, well, the blades are technically disposable, but you dispose of them into a coffee can, because you can't throw them in the trash because someone will get hurt. Because they're not housed in a plastic cartridge like a Gillette situation, for example. Anyway, I shaved my skin twice. That's what the Pro Rosso website suggested, to get a really good shave. So I do the thing, and then I prep, and I put the cream on the face, and then I shave, and I do a nice shave, rinse, nice hot water, and then I whip the cream into a lather again in the cup and apply another round, and I shave again. And I have really sensitive skin, and I'm telling you guys, when you take your time, it was the best shave. My skin looked so fucking good when I was done with the shave. I finished that second round, rinse, and then cold water to tighten the pores, and then, I just use moisturizer. I don't have any post-shave thing other than a good moisturizer, right? My skin looks so amazing. I can't recommend it enough. So guys, if you want to give yourself a stupid, cheap thrill, like treat yourself, like when you do your shave in the morning, like just take your time. This is guy time. It's your time. And just have it, enjoy yourself. Bring a little radio in there, whatever you got to do. Do your thing. And this is your time. And you get yourself, you set yourself up with a nice shave and you treat yourself. I didn't do it again today, but I'm going to do it again tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, so good. Anyway. The Fantastic Four, First Steps, 2025, directed by Matt Shakman. I am not overly familiar, certainly maybe not even familiar at all with Mr. Shakman's work as a director, but there is this notion that maybe we're getting superhero fatigue. Maybe some people are, but I beg to differ. If we just kind of do these stories from a different angle, or maybe offer a fresh take. Superman this summer I thought was super fun. I thought it was going to be a mess, but it was super enjoyable. And James Gunn, I thought, did a great job. I'm not really interested in doing a review of Fantastic Four, but I will say this. Generally, I really liked it. I thought it was fresh, it was fun, light adventure with some smart, hot people with superpowers and cool outfits. Like, good time. And yeah, what I really want to dwell on is the style of the picture, I did not go for the IMAX. Maybe I should see some stuff in the IMAX. I like to see the movies when I go to the cinema. I like to go to the Dolby Cinema. Dolby Cinema. I have Dolby Vision on my home televisions with Dolby Atmos sound. The Paris Theater, arguably my favorite movie theater in all of Manhattan, is tricked out, thanks to Netflix, with Dolby Atmos. The sound is fabulous. They have 70 millimeter projection capability in there. But over at the AMC on 68th and Broadway, they have a Dolby Cinema auditorium, Auditorium 1. That's where I saw F1, although I should have seen F1 on IMAX. That would have been kind of worth it. But I like it. The picture is so good. The sound is so good. And, the seats are kind of, all of that. So anyway, I saw Fantastic Four in Dolby Digital. And I want to talk about the production design or the art direction. And quite frankly, someone's going to have to school me because I don't know enough about it. Who is in charge of the look and feel of the film? Who makes the decision of, what their environments look like? What are the textures? What are the switches, the wallpapers, like all of that stuff? Is that production design? Is it art direction? Set design? I know they all have to play together. But anyway, basically, the look and feel of the Fantastic Four, I would describe as a mix of 1960s Mad Men Manhattan, Star Trek, like original run with Captain James Kirk. The Jetsons, a little bit of that in there because it's Manhattan buildings from the 60s and old Times Square, but also these sort of like Jetsons kind of buildings as well. And there's a little bit of The Incredibles in there too. And The Incredibles, of course, was that great Pixar film from some years ago that had such terrific style. I mean, as animated films go, as cartoons go, which is essentially what it is, it's a sexy little superhero movie. And The Incredibles, I think, informed a lot of the look and feel of the Fantastic Four. So as I said, like it's a blender of 60s Mad Men, Manhattan, Star Trek, Jetsons, and The Incredibles. Like really a real mid-century porn, very Eros Saarinen. In fact, the living room of the main characters, the Fantastic Four, looks like the waiting area in the old TWA terminal at JFK. Now the glorious TWA hotel, of course, just with a different color palette. I mean, it's a lot of Eros Saarinen, I can sort of imagine the reference photos they used in the production design and art direction areas to make these worlds happen. And and then they nailed the color. You know, I studied advertising in school, and I have a fetish for advertising from the 60s in particular. I think it was really good then. There's a reason Matthew Weiner, I think, centered that show from 1960 to 1970 because that was kind of a golden age in advertising. The look of things was so good. I mean, ridiculous to be sure, but sexy goes without saying. And the Fantastic Four uses this it's a great color palette. There is that Fantastic Four blue. It's like a powder blue. There are some great reds in there, and I'm sure there's meaning to it. I just didn't pick up on it. The branding and the graphics, all very 1960s, down to the AMC News logo and the AMC News bumper, because it's a Marvel, which is owned by Disney, and that's part of, an ABC is part of that family as well. So in the 1960s looking environment of this movie, it's 1960s ABC News. And so the graphics and all of it, it's just, God. It would be interesting to see if television news I doubt it, this is stupid, but if we would ever go back to that sort of very simple but attractive, handsome look and feel of things. I mean, right now, I think television news shows look like tanning beds, really. You almost look like you need SPF on if you're going to walk onto that set. But even looking at the Dick Cavett show, or looking at old footage of, oh God, do I want to say Good Night and Good Luck? Well, that was the 50s, but that was different. We weren't there yet. Yeah. There was a warmth to it. There was a warmth to the texture and the look and the feel that is not there today. Today, TV news is very cold and bright and porn-tastic, like lip gloss that screams insert dick here. Like, that's the look. But the colors, yeah. I thought the color, because they do use real ABC News kind of vibes, for lack of a better word. And the movie has a decidedly mid-century American style, as I said, but the technology of the story is very 21st century. That said, they're doing things technologically that you couldn't do then, but you can do now. Like, their spacesuits were really great, and their astronaut helmets and all of that. I suppose SpaceX, to Elon Musk's credit, which I hate to fucking give, but they look pretty good. You know what? You know who else looked really good? I would say this is more of a nod to Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. The spacesuits in that movie were really cool, and these look like that, just a different color, because the Fantastic Four signature color is that as I said, that sort of powder blue. Anyway. As I said, the technology in the movie, even though it looks very 60s, the technology is very 21st century. That said, the interfaces, the consoles, the knobs, the switches, the headphones people wear, microphones, things that people touch to turn off a light or move it, to drive a spaceship, whatever. All the tech, the tangible tech was so cool. Like they had a blast, and they did it with taste. They did it with style. I had such a great time looking at it and noticing it and enjoying it and sort of taking it all in. It's a really sexy movie to look at. So if you have any fetish for that kind of look at all, or any nostalgia, I wasn't around then. I was born in 1970, but if you are nostalgic for whatever reason of better looking times, let's say, because I would say now is kind of an ugly one, but it's you'll enjoy the look and feel of this, and I think it's worth it to see it in a big theater. But that's just me. On a hot summer night, I will conclude this way. On a hot summer night, it was really a fun movie to get lost in for 2 hours. I'm not convinced the superhero genre is going away. This particular movie, as I said, directed by Matt Shakman, work I'm not familiar with. This one had a much lighter, more whimsical tone than recent past Marvel outings, although over the years, like since Iron Man 1, Marvel and Kevin Feige in particular and his team always seem to be having way more fun than the gloomy, self-serious kids over at DC. Like Feige's counterparts over at DC just didn't seem to know what the fuck they wanted to do. And oh my God, like I thought Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman and the Justice League, I just like, oh my God, you guys really need to go on antidepressants. What the fuck? Superman is bright, colorful. It's a bright blue. It's a bright red. It's a bright yellow. Like, what are you doing? But Feige and the Marvel people, like, were having good, like, the scripts were better, the jokes were better, they're funnier, like, all of that stuff. But, I mean, to be serious, the story in the Fantastic Four is ridiculous. I didn't really care, though. But one thing I am getting tired of in this superhero genre is the numbing scale of mass destruction of buildings or entire cities for that matter. Really, we're going to just like, do we really need to show how much we can CGI this level of destruction? It's just tiresome, I feel. It happened in Superman, I will say, and in the Fantastic Four. It's just over the top as far as I'm concerned. And at this point in our storytelling taste, it's getting real boring. It's one of the reasons I've always had a soft spot for the first Iron Man with Downey. We weren't dealing with space people yet. Like, it was all very much grounded. And same with Iron Man 2. And was Iron Man 3? Yeah, Iron Man 3 was also grounded on Earth. We didn't get into space people yet, although Thor was a-coming. So yeah, but still, like, our first introduction to Tony Stark, and the mass destruction was one other guy who had another big Iron Man kind of a suit, Jeff Bridges, Obadiah. That was the big villain. That was the big threat. Like, that was a little more down to scale. But this massive, put a crack in the earth, kind of like split buildings apart and decimate blocks of Manhattan. Like, come on. It's getting really tiresome, guys. So, think of something better. But all in, the Fantastic Four was one of my favorite Marvel outings in recent years. It was really delightful. I suggest you all go see it. As for summer 2025 movies in general, still, I'd say F1, the movie, has my vote. It's not deep, it doesn't pretend to be, but director Joseph Kosinski understood the assignment of what a summer hit should be, like he did with Top Gun Maverick, because he directed that as well. And this is, we're talking about like a breezy, fun, cool, sexy, big dick, like tentpole summer blockbuster hit. Down to like the cars we're driving, the motorcycles we're on, the watches we're wearing, the clothes, like it's all like, yeah. Give me a little bit of a clever story, something I can get on board with. Don't make me cry. We're all good. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. To finish up here, I am enjoying on my nightstand, on my night table read, I'm enjoying Yet Here I Am, the wonderful new memoir by my friend Jonathan Capehart. Get into that. And for listening, though the news of Ozzy Osbourne's death was obviously sad, it did remind me of how much I have always loved Black Sabbath's 1970 rock and roll tour de force, Paranoid. Go put on your good headphones and give that a listen. That is good rock and roll. Kids out there, that's rock and roll. And that's it for this episode of Han Solo. This podcast is produced, written, recorded, edited, engineered, and published by, wait for it, George Hahn. And that's me. Until next time.